Hello, YouTube friends. It's Molar Mauler, and we are starting on the last chapter of the Cleopatra expansion missions. Cleopatra's capital. Alexander has asked us to make a city here. He's even been so kind as to do our east-west road and our north-south road for us. He's put them down. We're not going to mess with them. We'll figure out a way to work around what he's given us. He's asked us to do military. He's asked us to build a thriving city with a mausoleum for himself, just in case he comes down with a bad stomachache while he's off conquering the world. We need 4,000 population and just some real modest requirements. Should be a fun mission. Let's take a look and see what he has done for us. Stuck us in the middle of the reeds. Here we go. So the big canopic street, and then the road that leads down to the lake. We'll have to find a way to do something with this. In terms of farming, we can do wheat, we can do barley, and we can fish. In terms of production, we can gather reeds and turn it into papyrus. We can brew beer with our barley. And then we have weavers and jewelers that we can do, and that's about it. Ta is one of our gods, so I think we'll make use of the weavers and the jewelers. We have to do a fairly nice big monument. That takes 240 sandstone, so we'll have to look out for a place where we can bring in sandstone. Through the magic of television, I've scouted out the map. There is no source of sandstone. There are some trade routes that I am interested in. I'll tell you about them and why we're going to choose them. They buy beer, which we can do. They buy linen, which we can produce. They sell us wood and copper. So Nkami is going to be a good trade route. Menefer. They sell us flax, which will be a good seed to start for our linen industry. They sell pottery, which we'll need. They buy beer. They buy the jewelry we will be producing with Ta's help. Definitely going to open this one. And then I believe the other one was Gaza. They sell meat, which will be helpful in terms of setting up our initial housing blocks before we feed ourselves. They also buy linen, and they buy papyrus. I don't know if we'll be able to produce that much. We'll give it a try. It might be a challenge to produce that much and get it to a dock. The reeds are pretty far away from the docks. So that's the 3 trade routes I believe we're going to open up right away. So if you give me a minute or two, I'll come up with a bit of a layout. I believe we're going to do beer and papyrus down here and schlep it up to the docks. I think we'll put over here. We're going to do our linen and our jewelry industry over here as well. I think we're going to take advantage of this area and all the nice coast for our military. And then we'll probably do a big housing block area here surrounding the temple complex. And we'll put other blocks here and there. So I think that's a plan. I will be back in a microsecond with a layout. Here's our overly ambitious and overplanned layout. I've spent too much time doing this. Thankfully, I didn't waste a lot of Debans. We're going to use this south area here as a means of producing papyrus and the beer. The small senator block. We're going to have a dock area here that's going to do pretty much all of our trading that isn't military, and we're going to use a small senator block here. We're likely going to feed them with imports. We're going to do linen and jewelry here with the help of blessings from Tom. We're going to do a small senator block here. It's going to do the administration and military. And then we've got 2 large senator blocks with the temple complex in between, which is how I like to do it. You get pretty good control over evolving these housing rows into manors if you need to. Then we've got a 16 fishing wharf, fishing village planned for this little island here. Kind of excited about it. It took a little bit too much planning there as well. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to get the ferries down. I'm going to put down the festival square. Before we even have any population, I'm going to hold a festival to Ta. Ta's going to supply us with jewelry to sell. And he's going to supply us with extra linen to sell. He's going to keep our weavers and shipwrights and jewelers stocked. We shouldn't have to import any gems. At least that's what I hope. We're going to still import linen. So what I am going to do before I take another time skip is I'm going to put down the water carriers that we're going to need. And then starting with who's going to get housing last, I'm just going to provide a bit of housing so that we can get these water carriers up and running as quick as we can get all 5 of them up and running. And then we'll populate the blocks after that. I'm going to put this one down to get our employment for this block here. I'm going to put one down here to help get employment for this area here. And we're going to get down these two to help get employment for this area here. So I'm going to do a little time skip, and I'm going to get all of the rest of the housing and all the buildings for these first blocks down, all the industry buildings down. And then we'll start bringing people into town. Okay, so I finished setting up the south area. We've got 6 barley farms irrigated. We've got 2 grain farms. We got 2 reed gatherers ready to go after the reeds. They should be able to supply this many. And we've got 9 breweries. Got a storage yard here for barley, 4 grain, a storage yard here to collect the papyrus, and 1 for the beer. And we've set up a small senator block in these 2 locations, one for the military area. We set up the shipwright. I'll explain why in a second. We've set up 9 weavers and 5 jewelers. We have a place to get beer, a place for getting papyrus. We have a spot for flax to come in and for our food imports to come in. We're going to be bringing in pomegranates. We're going to get it in as quick as we can to get the population here up as quick as we can. We've got a place to put all of the linen and a place to put all of the jewelry. We're not going to be importing any gems. What we are going to do is we're going to pray to Ta, which we did. So in March, we'll have a festival. He's going to give us one of 2 blessings. He's going to either give us a blessing that will fill all of the weavers and all the jewelers and the shipwright, or he'll give us a blessing that will fill a yard with goods if he notices something in the yard already. So we're going to try to get 1 linen in here quick before he gives us our first blessing, just on the off chance that he wants to fill this full of linen. He won't fill this full of jewelry until we have at least 1 jewelry in there, and we won't get a jewelry in there until we get the blessing that fills up the weavers and the jewelers. So that's how we're going to make use of Ta. So we're going to bring in meat here and feed this housing block with meat. We're going to start to build our military here as quick as we can. And then we've just got a large senator block here we're going to use for population. We're not going to feed it until we get the fishing industry going up here. I was going to put down housing here, but I was starting to get a little close to running out of money. So decided to just see how we do for population. This is a pretty aggressive initial placement. I mean, we put down quite a lot of industry buildings, quite a lot of storage buildings. We put down docks. We went a little bit nuts. But I think we can make it work. Hopefully we don't go too far into debt. We are going to definitely go into debt. Before we go into debt, we're going to have to set up some trading. We're going to open up Nkami because they buy beer and linen and they sell pomegranates. So that's stuff that we want and stuff we want to sell. We're going to open up Biblos because they buy papyrus and they're free. They don't really sell anything that we really want, but no one's going to argue with the free buyer for papyrus. Gaza we're going to open. They buy linen and papyrus and they sell meat, so this is going to work for us. And Menefer buys beer and they buy jewelry. So we're going to open them up. And they sell flax, which we're going to have to bring some flax in right away to get the ball rolling with the Ta blessing trade economy. So we're going to import meat. Import half a yard. We're going to import pomegranates. We're going to go half a yard. We're going to sell beer, but I'm going to turn it off until we get barley. Export it when it's over 0. We're going to import flax. We don't want to go crazy in debt. We'll rely on Ta for a little while during the early game. We'll probably bump that up later when we become less reliant on him. We're going to turn linen off. And we're going to export. But we're going to export when we're over 100. So there's always going to be a linen sitting in that yard as a seed for the Ta blessing. We're going to turn papyrus off as well. We're going to export papyrus when we're over 0. We're going to turn jewelry off and we're going to export when over 1. And again, that's so we always have 1 jewelry in that yard as a seed for Ta's blessing. And I think that does it for setting up the initial trade. We'll go live here. The blocks will fill up in the order of the first little housing that we put down beside the water carrier in each block. And then we'll fill this one up. 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 Here, and then we'll fill up the island. So we do want to go on priority for hygiene just to get the water carriers working, because we get a 40% boost to these initial houses. See, there's 28 as soon as the water carrier passes it. Probably showing it wrong. But we're starting to get employment for the water carrier down here. That house has room for 20. As soon as the water carrier passes it, we have room for 28. So that bumps it up by a nice amount right off the bat. So it helps bring the initial population in. Now that all the water carriers are out, we're going to switch off of hygiene focus. We're going to switch on to production building and food and farming. This is what we got going for food and farming. I don't think we're going to do anything here in May. So I'm going to actually turn the 2 grain farms off until we get to our next little level here. But as of right now, we should have the 6 barley farms going, and we should have the 2 papyrus makers going, and that's the only thing we got going right now. And that's good, because we need 206 workers. So we have 500 residents now. Let's just check to see. We've got 200 units in the one and 100 in the other. Even though we're going to be super short of workers, I'm going to open up papyrus. Start getting them employed so we can start making papyrus. And then we'll keep an eye out for when flax hits the yard here. And we'll turn on linen. We'll turn on beer in August. So we're buying the pomegranates. We're in debt now. This guy
can't wait to trade my supplies.
Sells the flax, so we're gonna turn on linen just because it's a race to try to get in the first linen in that yard before Ta throws a blessing our way, because if he tries to fill up a yard, that'll be a wasted blessing. So we want to get that linen in here. I'd prefer if he filled all of these places rather than gifted us a whole yard of linen right off the bat, but I would be okay with either. So there's that flax going to the producer there. So we do have a waste of a blessing there. We did not finish that in time to get the Ta blessing to do. So that's kind of a bummer. Got 1,000 people in town now. We're going to turn beer on. See, these houses here jumped from 28 to a possible 52. So feeding people is the single best way of getting your population, more than putting down lots of houses. So if you put down a small housing block and make sure you get it fed, it's much better off. See, if we would have had linen in the yard when Ta gave that blessing, we'd have a yard full of linen here. And we'd be less in trouble with money. We do have some papyrus that's hit the yard, which is good. There we go. So now everybody is got stock. So I'm going to turn the jewelers on, as we want them producing jewelry as fast as we can to make sure that we have something in this yard for Ta to notice in case he wants to give us a whole yard full of jewelry. Plus it'll give us jewelry to sell. That'll be 1,000 jewelry we'll be able to sell. Well, 900 because we're keeping one behind. We'll hold another festival to Ta. If we ever get to import sandstone and it's not a good route, we'll probably start praying to Ra instead. We're a little better for our worker shortage. Got lots to sell here now, so we'll probably be out of debt. That's fantastic. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this block housed. And then we'll get to work on the fishing. Although it would be nice to get our first warship down. We'll get to work on some fishing. It's 8, and I should probably get these guys going as well. Get these guys finally fed. Place to accept the fish. $2,000 people already, so we're halfway to our target population. Some fish hitting the yard here. Let's leave room for a conservatory. At least room for 2 storage yards on this side, so I think I like that. We'll get 3/4 of a yard. We'll eventually want a second food in there, so we'll just go 3/4. And that's gonna burn down, so let's do something about that. We're doing pretty good on money here. You know, I think I'm going to, just in the interest of keeping the gods super happy, I'm going to get rid of the Ra temple there. I'm going to get rid of the Ra temple here. And then I think I'm going to put down the temple complex. And I'm going to make an investment in it to build the oracle, which makes everybody work for less money. I'm going to drop their wages down. busted. Somebody should be going from here to pick up stuff from that storage yard. Gonna delete the storage yard first and put it back. See if anything happens. Going to delete the granary and put it back and see if anything happens. Oh, hopefully it's not a problem with the ferry positioning. And put it back. Let's get our festival, and then let's see if we can figure out what is going on with our there they go. Okay. I just needed to rebuild the ferry. I was starting to panic. So we're going to buy fish in this block and start feeding this block. Got a lot of money here. Employment of 1%. What do we want to spend it on? Got 100 units in the shipwright, so why don't we get down our second warship wharf, and then maybe we'll start working on actual... It lost the wood. I don't know what it is with shipwrights, but it always does that for me. And now all of a sudden, when I try to replace it, it gives me this. I don't know what that is. Every game where I try to build warships, I end up losing 100 wood out of the shipwright for some reason. Sorry, I'll go back to live. So a couple confusing little buggy things here on this mission. Well, now I got some wood in the shipwright. And he's working, but he just has 100 wood. It's weird. So that's buggy, and the ferries are buggy. But thank goodness everything is functioning. Starting to get this block fed here. So we got 2 warship wharfs. We've got 100 units of wood there. Let's see if we can repeat this bug, reproduce the bug. So I'll put in a warship wharf here. It'll get population, or employment, sorry, eventually. And then we'll see what the if it ever gets employment. There we go. So then the shipwright started working, lost the wood, and stopped working. So we're going to delete it. The area looks clear. We're going to try to put it back, and we get some debris. I'm super tired of this bug. I don't think I'm going to try to build worship wharfs unless I have the full 200 in the yard. Do we want to try to up our papyrus game? With these workers? Or do we want to finish off the fisheries? Let's finish off the fisheries. And then we'll probably start taxing people. Okay, so we've got wood again here. That should do this one. I'm not going to put the fourth one down. I'm planning 4. I'm not going to put the fourth one down until he's full of wood. Just about ready for the next festival. I've got 12,000 Debans. I think I'm going to pause, and I'm going to... Well, I don't think I'm going to spend on decorations. We have 10 archers. Okay, let's run it. I'm going to put down the palace. And the mansion. And the tax collectors. Oh my goodness. They have an army coming. I'm going to start bringing wood in. I want to make sure I get done. Except half a yard of wood. Might throw down the boyars too. Glad I started working on military because I was expecting calls for troops from Alexandria. I wasn't actually expecting to get invaded. But we started early enough, I think. There's a second fort of archers. Just gonna bring in 1600. Try to keep it there. So we just got another blessing to stock all of our weavers and shipwrights. I've set this dock for meat, of course, and for wood. And I think that's about it, other than bows for maybe later. This dock is set for pretty much everything else. So 6 months, we're going to be fighting. I don't know how many more fishing boats we got to go through before we end up doing the warship. Okay, so we have a trade route to On. This may hopefully be our source of sandstone. I am not seeing it. There it is. They do. And it's 25, so we're going to want to start doing some festivals to Raw, so we can maybe get into up that to 40. They buy beer, which is good. Do we want to up our beer game? I was thinking about upping our Pyrus game. Now I'm thinking about upping our beer game. I think it's 240. Let me just check. 240, yeah. Okay. So we got the money. We're gonna have the workers, especially if I start feeding this block. So what do we want to do? Sorry, I got the game on pause, but this is kind of important. We don't want to miss any sandstone while we're running live. The traders are probably going to come in the same place that the people come in. So I'm going to want a storage yard here, which is going to accept sandstone from them. And then I want it emptied out as soon as possible, because I don't want to ever get in a situation where there's like spots left and I'll get a caravan in, he'll sell me 3 and then he'll leave. And he'll ignore empty storage yards. So we want to empty that storage yard out so the one that the trader will go to is always going to be able to accept. So we're going to put all the rest of them on get. And of course we want to be able to keep these from burning down or falling down. So there, we'll start collecting sandstone from On. And now in terms of beer. So we're not having any problems here with the Pyrus makers getting stocked from 2 reed gatherers, so that's good news. Because if I'm going to put down more barley farms, it's going to have to be right here, where the reed gatherers are. So we're going to want to leave them a place to get out. Because if we're bringing irrigation up around this side, I don't think they cross irrigation ditches. And this little reed patch is going to block the irrigation from coming up this way. So it looked like a clever way to set it up when I was setting it up. Now I wish I would have moved everything one this way. We're gonna want another set of another little bit of protection, because that's an awful lot of complicated walks for just these two guys to do. So I think I am gonna up the papyrus game and up the beer game. So we need to get our regatherers back. We're gonna double them, and then we're gonna put 6 more breweries to bring us up to 15. And then however many papyrus makers we can get in here. Oh good, we can still sneak... do I want to try to put 2 over here? We can give it a try. Let's see if we can... I can't fit 2 more, so let's see if we can do it. Let's... And we're gonna spend some money trying to evolve this housing up. Just because that's the cheapest way to improve. That's a spot for a dentist. And let's leave the entertainment here too, and then I don't have to come back here. I'm gonna just finish this block off completely. They don't need this much entertainment, of course, but I am doing it for the culture rating in the future. Okay, so this area should be finished off. Got 2 extra barley farms down, got 6 extra breweries, got 2 extra reed gatherers, and got 6 extra papyrus makers. And hopefully that's the last time I look at this area. The land route might actually pull beer off of here if it doesn't get up to here. So we'll want to keep an eye on what our land trader is doing, because when we start bringing beer over to supply these blocks, we never want that land trader coming in taking beer from here. So I think we're set up. Actually, I might do the same thing with decorations for these blocks too, because it's easy population. Let's hold that first festival to Ra while I'm over here thinking about it. That'll be the dentist spot just right in front of the hippo that I just placed down. We're never going to get the high level manners, so we don't want or need libraries in this mission. So we'll put statues down in the place of them. One thing I should do while I'm thinking about it is when you do a block that allows for evolving to manors, you want these corner spots to be statues so that things don't evolve without your permission. That way this house won't spring this way and this house won't spring that way. Okay, we'll run it. We'll start collecting sandstone, and hopefully we'll get a blessing that Rob will up the trading capacity and we'll get 40 a year instead of 25. And we'll try to get that mausoleum down. I do want to get that extra warship down. We've got 3 of the 4 warships. Are we accepting composite bows here? No. That was an oversight. Although it looks like we weren't producing any yet. So we're going to make more money. We've got our first shipment from the caravan trader here, and it is now in the yard. So all 16 of them are out of the accepting yard. So that's functioning. So we're starting to get bows. That's our first 4 bows. We might be able to equip at least some of the archers with them before they get here. And here we go. We've got the all 4 warships up. We're short workers by a lot, but hopefully now that we're feeding these people, we'll improve that. What I might do is pull the meat from this yard here and stick this yard on to get half a yard of fish and change what we're feeding these people from meat to fish, and that way we'll have our second food here ready to go if we ever want to start evolving manors. 1 month. We might be able to get, probably not. We might not get anybody equipped with bows. Wow, we kind of got attacked really early in this mission, way earlier than I thought we might. Here we got some more in the yard here, and we're pulling it off and taking it to other places. Oh, please, don't be horrible. Okay, we're 4 against 3. Okay, I think we're going to be good. So we lost 2 warships, and we lost 1 archer. We'll rebuild. $166 workers short now. So this is encouraging here. 3,000 people. It's going to take us many, many years at 25 per year to fill up these sandstone blocks so we can start at the mausoleum. It would have been nice if we had a sandstone source right off the bat, but at least we got one now. About ready to do our new festival here. The trade route to Byblos has been shut down. Those pesky Phoenicians. We're going to keep holding them to raw now, I think. We're a little less reliant on TA. In fact, I might switch away from a TA economy here and start actually bringing in a decent amount of flax. Do we have a source of gems? Nope. If we never do anything with the jewelers again, I'm okay with that. If we get the odd blessing that increases the jewelry, that'd be great. We might still get blessings from Ta. I might do a festival apiece each here. So as soon as we get a festival to Ra off, I'll do a festival to Ta. We'll try to keep it going. But I would like to keep some linen going here. $59 workers. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. So probably the next thing we want to do to increase our population. We have 12. So this is working. We've got meat and fish in the a lot of protein for these people, no carbs. Gonna give entertainment to these 2 blocks. And their dentist, and finish them off. So I don't have to worry about doing anything with them anymore. Oh, good. We still got a Ta blessing. Did I forget to do the... Actually, I'll probably not do any more Ta blessings if we're still getting blessings from him. Some hippos. I like hippos. And as entertainment, we want to give them those. And those. And then what I might do, just in case we ever get called out by water, I have room for transport wharfs. So we'll put those down. Yeah, so these guys are up to their potential. Let's go see how things are working down here. Go to the problems overlay. We're not quite getting enough raw material there. See if one more regatherer solves the problem. I got room for it. This is the best. We are definitely accepting that sandstone. That was huge. How many do we have? Oh, do they also sell sandstone? Baharia Oasis. They sell meat. And they buy jewelry and they're a land route. No. Not even gonna open them. trading partners more than before. So if we go to the world map now and we go look at on, they'll sell us 40. What time of year is it? It's September, so we still have potential to get more this year. So hopefully we do. We are at 117. Hopefully we can get some more gifts like that. Okay, so 2% unemployment. Let's start thinking about this. So let's just get to the new year and then I'll come up with a plan for pottery and beer over here. Benefer, we're gonna acknowledge that request from the capital. And we're going to stockpile grain. Oops, that's shutting it off. There we go, stockpile. The harvest is in January, so we should be able to fulfill a request really quick, and hopefully that gets us more sandstone. I'm greedy for sandstone. Since that gift, I want more gifts. I don't think we ever did get our extra 25 from them. Oh, we did. Yeah, we got the extra. We got the bonus stone. Okay, let's come up with a plan. So this yard is going to go get beer. And we are only going to want to, if we get a full yard of it, we're only going to want to sell beer when we're over this yard here. So we're going to change beer sales to over 3,200. And we're going to ask for half a yard of it. We'll see how that works. So we're going to get a half a yard of pottery here. And we're going to import up to 1,700. Which means when we import it over here, we're always going to have one in this yard. And it'll be a seed for Ta to bless us. It might not ever work out, and who knows if the timing is ever going to do the trick. So we're going to get a quarter of a yard of linen here and get a quarter of a yard of jewelry here so that we can supply the houses here on the internals, and also so we can supply the mortuaries, but try not to mess up these yards here. So we're going to start exporting when over 900. So we'll always try to leave one in that yard over there for Ta to notice. So hopefully that works out too. I just want to always make sure that we've got jewelry and a linen over there no matter what. And then this is going to be papyrus. And we're going to get half a yard of papyrus here to keep the scribal schools employed. So when those fill up, we'll start to do something about that. 4% unemployment. Maybe we'll start working on the entertainment venues. Oh, okay, good. And let's stop stockpiling the grain. Yay, we got the trading partner blessing. So for this one, we want to buy linen. We want to buy jewelry. And we want to buy the meat. Because we only want luxury goods and linen and second food to the rows here against the temple complex. We'll finish these blocks off. Including the dentists. And I think I'm gonna just put down everything here. Put down the Scrabble School. And put down the mortuaries. So I think we should see our culture rating finish up with what I just did. Land route. Okay. So we'll wait and see how these things populate with the goods that we are trying to bring over. I'll do a Ta festival. I'll try to do them both. It won't be too long before we are working here. What I think I might do is just extend this road up. We're going to need to bring wood over here. Six-month warning. We're going to want work camps. We're going to want carpenter guilds, and we're going to want mason guilds. There, we should be ready to start on that monument and get it done as quick as we can. What did we get? We got a full yard of pottery by the looks of it, so we shouldn't ever have to bring in pottery ever again. What is this? No idea how that got there. So we got beer and pottery and linen over here. Definitely need the jewelry. Going to actually bring in those gems. And let's find a suitable trade route here for gems. A land route that doesn't buy anything. I think that'll be fine. They're cheap enough. I think I'll bring in 1,000. It's what we need to do the grave goods, if I remember correctly. And it'll be something for Todd and Otis. Let's just send them out. I might be able to equip them while they're gone. Still not getting any papyrus over here. Am I being outcompeted? How far did these guys walk up this road? I'm gonna watch the architect. And see how far he gets up. There he is. Right about there. I'm going to make my own papyrus on this end of the map. I'm kind of far from the reeds, but we'll see if 2 reed gatherers and 2 papyrus makers do the trick here. Oh, they just got some. I probably did that for nothing. So Oh well, better safe than sorry. I'll probably have the workers to do it. Especially if I click buy on beer and pottery in these 2 blocks. Hey, they came home. And they all survived? Wow, that's pretty good. No losses. Some of these have already come up pretty high. They're ready to evolve. Okay, this is going pretty good. Got a lot of papyrus here. The only thing we don't have is jewelry in this yard, but now that we've got some gems and stuff, these guys should be going enough for us to get them over here. No extra gifts of sandstone. We're 62 away? No, 52 away. That's 2 years worth plus. We're going to need sandstone after we fill these. Oh, great. I was just on my calculator figuring out how much to accept. Oh, we got exactly 240. Okay, so we're going to put down our monument. It looks like the entrance is here on this side, so we'll connect it up. We should start working on it. So we're still going to need sandstone, 128. %8 unemployment. I think we're going to get rid of these 4. We'll keep importing it. And then I think we might try to evolve some manors. Forgot to have our festival in January. Okay, so we're going to delete this house and watch 2 manors evolve. Unemployment is at 6% now. So we're going to evolve these 2. Employment is at 1%. Yeah, so we'll just hold still on here and see what happens. We've got 4,500 people, so that's more than intended. Scribal schools are well stocked, and we've got this going on here. Maybe didn't need to put down this, but we did. Delete it, see if it stays stable. We need a second type of food here. We're still accepting meat. We haven't stopped trading it, have we? Okay. Don't want those to devolve. Guess I could do over here on this side. There, we require 16 workers now. This is going well. We're 20% complete. They're just waiting on sandstone. Maybe we'll get another gift. Well, the city seems to be working out not too bad. See if that extra papyrus maker got us out of trouble down here. Yes, it did. That's nice to see. So this is working really well. Nobody's short of supplies. We'll have everybody equipped here pretty quick, and then we'll start selling bows. I definitely would like to see some meat in the storage yard here. Does anybody else sell meat? Yeah, we are going to open this. I don't want any of this to devolve because we run out of meat there. I think we got linen on that blessing. There's some more sandstone for us. Yay. $112 blocks. Gonna speed things up because I don't think there's really anything else I want to do with this city. There, more trading, so that's good. It's still April, so we should get 40 out of on this year. Get that monument done. I guess we should think about grave goods here. Let's do the jewelry, the gems, and the weapons. I guess if we shut down jewelry, we'll be able to do the gems, but we won't do that yet. And let's start to bring in the ivory. Oh, available for import. How come it's not letting me do it? So I gotta open trade routes here. No weapons from you. No weapons from you. There's ivory down here, so maybe that's why I wasn't able to do it. And Kyrene sells weapons. Okay, let's go over here and make sure we're trading them. We'll accept weapons and we'll accept ivory. We'll bring in 400. Bring in 4. We'll finish off equipping those guys and we'll sell composite bows when over 0. We can deliver that barley. We can deliver that beer. Yeah, I'm going to shut down jewelry for a minute, just until we get the gems for the grave goods. Because we're going to be done this pretty quick here. There's the ivory. So we'll stop importing ivory. Got 2 weapons. That's all they would give us. Probably because of storage yard concerns. Okay, let's do the gems. Let's turn jewelry back on. We'll get the 2 other weapons. And then they give us 1,000 gems. There's the weapons. So let's stop importing them. Finish off the grave goods. So now we're just waiting on this monument. It needs 64 more blocks of sandstone. %2 unemployment. Yeah, we're not going to do anything about that. I'm not going to evolve more manners and end up being short of workers. A pretty nice little city. We've got 4 fully equipped archer forts with bows and academy trained. We've got 4 warships, 4 transport wharfs. It's January. We're going to honor Ra again in hopes of the trade blessing. We can deliver fish. 60% complete on the mausoleum. There's the rest of our sandstone. I don't believe we need any more. We are not trading, and we're just in cruise control to finish up the mission. Unless our... No, we're good. Good on culture, good on prosperity, good on kingdom rating. So we're just waiting for that monument to finish. 3% unemployment at the moment. It's gone pretty well. I haven't really had to do much. I had to rejig the lower block to get a little bit more papyrus and beer capacity. We didn't need to do that, but what I might do is just throw down a couple more work camps here, just for when they tile off the courtyard later. It'll soak up a little bit of the unemployment. So this area is disconnected from the city. This area is disconnected from the city. The papyrus and beer area is also disconnected from the city. So we've done some pretty good cart pusher mechanics to keep our dock workers from traveling and to keep goods from disappearing out of our supply section for our housing area. The guys are busy tiling the courtyard around the mausoleum, and then we'll be done.
You have done
Okay.
well. Your wise leadership and careful planning have positioned Alexandria to be the hub of Mediterranean commerce. It is most unfortunate that Alexander the Great never saw his empire's capital. At least we have the satisfaction to know that he is now safely entombed within it.
So he did die. I made a joke at the very beginning in case he gets a bad stomach ache while he's gone, and I guess he did. Rest in peace, Alexander. You commissioned a pretty nice city. We finished it in just under 9 years, so less than the 12 that he was giving us in case there was some kind of time constraint on it. And I'm pretty proud. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you liked watching me. And I will see you in the next one.